Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we got a pretty interesting show for you guys here today that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, the biggest acquisition over the last week or so was the Los Angeles Clippers acquiring one Russell Westbrook. A move that some of us felt was going to happen, especially after some of the things that Paul George was saying in terms of how he would want Russell Westbrook to join the organization, and some of the things we were hearing in terms of reporting via Adrian Wojnarowski and others about the Clippers being one of the possible destinations for Russell Westbrook after he got bought out by the Utah Jazz. So ultimately, Westbrook ended up signing with the Los Angeles Clippers. And it was a move that kind of brought a lot of mixed reactions. Some people thought that it was a terrible move. And some people thought that it could be a move that could potentially work in the favor of the Los Angeles Clippers, right? That maybe he could give them a particular element that they don't have right now. On their roster. However, let's go back to how we got here. When Russell Westbrook was originally acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers, there was a lot of hype surrounding that acquisition. Why? Because here you are, you're adding someone that had averaged a triple-double multiple times, a surefire Hall of Famer, top 75 player. You're adding him to a roster that already had LeBron James and that had Anthony Davis. So a lot of people felt like the Lakers were going to be very, very good, and at the very least be the team to represent the Western Conference. The first year of the experiment was an absolute disaster, and Russell Westbrook was the absolute scapegoat. Now, did he play well that first season with the Lakers? No, he didn't. Right? Did he deserve a lot of the criticism that he got in terms of his play? Absolutely. But he was flat out scapegoated, and the way it was presented by the media, it made it seem like as if he was the number one issue that the Lakers were having, when in fact it was a multi-layered problem that the Lakers were dealing with. And then coming into this season, some of the criticism kind of died down, but he was still being criticized. Ultimately, right before he was about to get traded, a whole bunch of ridiculous stories started coming out about him, and his trade value, at least in the eye of the public, had been so diminished because of the consistent criticism that he was receiving. Many felt that it would be very difficult for a team to want to sign him. And the moment he was traded away by the Lakers, we immediately started hearing that there were some teams out there that were interested in him. And in some cases, these were title contenders or teams at least heading to the playoffs, like the Miami Heat, the Los Angeles Clippers. I forgot the other team. I think the Chicago Bulls was one of the teams that was interested in his services. So ultimately, the Clippers picked him up, and yesterday he met the press after he passed it. He went through his physical and passed that, and he was asked to kind of talk about his feelings about being a Los Angeles Clipper. And while he was talking, he took some subtle shots at his former team and the former organization that he played for. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Russell Westbrook had to say, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to that there.
See, Russ, I gotta ask about the fact that Paul, he's been really supportive of you even before you got traded, right? Yeah. And you guys played together in Oklahoma. How have y'all maintained that relationship since 2019 when Paul first came here to the Clippers?
One, just being from LA, and then second, man, Paul is just a great person overall besides the basketball stuff. And our kids are very close, our families are close, and our parents, and that alone is, creates a great bond, a brotherhood. And, since then, me and Paul's been close communicating. He's always been very supportive of me and trying to help me any way I can. And, I'm thankful to be playing with him again. So I'm looking forward to it.
Just to follow up, you played against Kawhi a couple times in the playoffs. You've beat him. He's beat your teams. Yeah. How's that relationship been with him ever since he started?
It's been great. Me and Kawhi from LA, but it's always been a mutual respect, love. Obviously we've been competing against each other for some years, but I'm super excited just to not just to be here, but pick his brain. Find ways to make the game easy for him, and I'm looking forward to that. That's a huge part, man, for anybody, any normal human being, and any situation in the workplace with somebody that a lot of teammates and people that want you here is very important. To me, I value that a lot. Just I've been in this league a long time and being somewhere that people want you and they embrace you, and that meant a lot to me.
So you heard what Russell Westbrook had to say there, right? He spoke about wanting to be in a place where you feel valued, you feel welcomed, you feel wanted. That's a very important thing, right? Where you don't feel like, everyone is, people are whispering about you around every corner, and, the sentiment is that everyone wants you gone from the organization. So it feels good to be in a place where he feels wanted. Now, let me just kind of discuss this here. Here's the fact of the matter. After Westbrook left the Lakers, there was a bit of a smear campaign taking place. At least that's how it seemed to me. A lot of negative stories were coming out about him. In fact, one of the journalists from The Athletic actually called out the Lakers for what they were doing. And this is something that has happened before with the Lakers. Something similar to this occurred when they were getting ready to fire Frank Vogel. And in fact, the way that they fired Frank Vogel was absolutely, distasteful, right? And a lot of people criticize them. People like Reggie Miller, they call that it was a very classless move. The way they kind of, kicked him out of that organization there. Now, in terms of Russell Westbrook, I want to talk about what I believe he's going to be looking to accomplish the rest of this season. I think Russell Westbrook is going to be on a mission to ensure that the Clippers can go as far as possible in the playoffs. I think now it has become bigger than, okay, I'm joining this team. We're creating a super team to win a championship. Now it's like, okay, based on the reports that I've been hearing that I'm a toxic player, you can't win without me, you can't play winning basketball with me. I'm here to prove a point to a lot of my critics, and I want to silence a lot of my doubters. And I want to prove to them that I can contribute to a championship winning team. Now, in terms of his basketball game, Russell Westbrook does give the Clippers some positives in terms of his ability to speed up the pace. That's something that they don't really have. Get them easier shots in transition, his ability to get into the get into the paint, collapse the defense, kick out to open shooters. That's something that can definitely help the Clippers, especially when the offense gets a little bit stagnant. However, the Clippers are going to be they're going to have to be cognizant of his free throw woes that come and go at times. Sometimes it can be turnover prone and have some backbreaking turnovers. So these are some of the negatives that the Clippers are going to have to, take into inventory. But I'm sure they weighed all of this before, deciding to pull the trigger on this particular move and signing Russell Westbrook. So to me, I definitely think he was taking a shot at his former organization. And because who else would he be talking about when he says you feel wanted? That was the last team. It wasn't like as if he's been to 2 separate teams after that and 3 separate teams. And then, he's making that comment. So to me, I definitely think he was taking a shot. So the question is, what do you think about what Russell Westbrook had to say? What do you think about some of the points I had to make? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.